The second highest point on Earth is not K2. It has no name of its own, and thousands of people have stood on it without stopping. This is Makalu, 8,485 meters, the fifth highest mountain in the world. It stands about 19 kilometers from Everest. And that closeness is the first thing worth noticing. There are 14 mountains on Earth above 8,000 meters. Every one of them is in the Himalaya or the Karakoram, side by side. Nowhere else is close. The highest mountain outside this region is Aconcagua in Argentina. 6,961 meters. It misses the list by more than a kilometer. Because only one event ever built ground this high. India collided with Asia. It is still pushing. Fourth is Lhotse, at 8,516 meters. It is joined to Everest by a high saddle called the South Col. Which raises a question. If two summits sit on one mass of rock, how many mountains is that? The answer is a measurement called prominence. Stand on a summit and walk downhill. How far must you drop before you can climb something higher? 500 meters is the usual line between a mountain and a bump on one. Lhotse clears it by 110 meters, the narrowest margin on this list. Further along the same ridge is a summit called Lhotse Shar. 8,383 meters and 86 meters of prominence. Higher than anything outside this region by a wide margin, and it is not a mountain. Third place goes to Kanchenjunga, 8,586 meters. It sits on the border between Nepal and India. And until 1852, this was believed to be the highest mountain in the world. The survey of India recalculated, and it dropped to third. Its prominence is nearly 4,000 meters. Nobody disputes this one. By tradition, climbers who reach the top stop a few meters below the true summit. The peak is sacred to the people who live beneath it, and the promise has largely been kept. But look at its western shoulder, at a summit called Yalung Kang. 8,505 meters, higher than Makalu, higher than fourth place. Its prominence is 135 meters, so the rule says no. Nepal recognized it as an independent peak anyway in 2014. The international body still refuses. Second is K2, 8,611 meters, on the border of Pakistan and China. And it is the odd one out, because it is not in the Himalaya at all. K2 belongs to the Karakoram, the next range along, raised by the same collision. Its prominence is 4,020 meters. Very nearly half, the mountain stands clear of everything around it. The name is not a name. It is a survey label, the second peak measured in the Karakoram. No local name was in wide enough use to replace it, so the label stayed. It is shorter than Everest and considerably more dangerous, steeper on every side. It was also the last of the 14 to be climbed in winter. A Nepali team reached the summit in January 2021. Everest was the first, 41 years earlier. And K2 is the second highest mountain on Earth. It is not the second highest point. Those are different questions. Everest, 8,849 meters. That figure is recent. China and Nepal surveyed it together and agreed it in 2020. Now look at its prominence, and something strange happens. Everest's prominence is 8,849 meters. Exactly its height, the two numbers are identical. Because prominence asks how far you descend before reaching something higher. And from the summit of Everest, there is nothing higher. So you keep going down, all the way to the sea. Exactly one mountain on Earth has that property, and it always will. Now walk 100 meters down the southeast ridge to a rise called the South Summit. 8,749 meters. That is 138 meters higher than K2. It is the second highest point on the surface of this planet. Its prominence is 11 meters. So it is not a mountain. It has no name but a description and appears on no list. Everyone who climbs Everest from the south crosses it, in the dark, on the way to somewhere else. Because standing high is not the same as standing alone. Elevations and prominences from Wikidata, each converted from its recorded unit before ranking.